Every year, there are over 10,000 people killed in DUI-related accidents. DUI-related accidents account for 1/3 of fatal car crashes. That leaves thousands of families left to deal with the pain of losing a loved one due to someone's careless choice. While there are current laws in place to prevent drinking and driving, they are not working. Yet, the government spends over $199 billion prosecuting in DUI-related offenses. So how do we truly end drinking and driving? I propose that we go to the start, literally. I propose that all cars be made with ignition interlock, which is a breathalyzer system that is attached to a car and requires the driver to blow under the legal limit in order for their car to start. Ignition interlock is not a new technology. In fact, many states have a law that requires repeat offenders to have this installed in their cars, and some states have seen as much as a 30% drop in their DUI rates. If it is proven that it can work, then why not make it a mandatory feature in a car? While this may seem like a harsh punishment for those who would never consider drinking and driving, as we have learned in this class, everyone has the potential to be evil and to make mistakes. Also, there were times when airbags and seatbelts were not in cars, and they faced a similar uphill battle to be a required feature in a car. Seems kind of silly, doesn't it? To prove the effectiveness, I had a few actors show us how the technology could work.
It says I didn't pass. What should we do?
I guess we'll need to call a taxi.
Okay. We need a taxi, please. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Ignition interlock is a tool that can save lives on Minnesota roads and provide a pathway for legal driving. Users of ignition interlock must provide a breath sample into the interlock device in order to drive. If the user's alcohol concentration level is 0.02 or higher, the vehicle will not start. Upon passing the test, the user can then start the vehicle. All tests are recorded by an in-car camera. Video and test results are provided to driver and vehicle services for monitoring. Here are the key features of ignition interlock. Interlocks have anti-circumvention features, such as rolling retests that require a driver to blow into the device 3 to 5 minutes after starting the vehicle, and randomly thereafter. There are also specific hum or suck back patterns to prevent users from attempting to circumvent the testing process and cameras. Breath samples of a 0.02 alcohol concentration level or above will not allow the car to start. Violation of the program, such as alcohol detection, will require the interlock user to bring their vehicle to a service provider for early calibration. State-certified interlock vendors have installation locations across the state, making interlocks accessible for all potential users. For further information,
If Congress were to pass this law, we would no longer have to count on drivers to drink and drive responsibly. It would take the guesswork out of it. As we've discussed in class, if we want to truly get results, we have to change the system, not just the person. While many people think that they could never drink and drive or commit such an act, we've learned that evil is capable in all people, and to truly make change, we have to recognize that. By passing a bill requiring this technology in all cars, drivers will either have to be under the legal limit to get their car to start or call someone to come get them. It will save tens of thousands of lives every year. One of the lives this technology could have saved is one of my best friends, Breonna Taylor. Breonna was a person who lit up every room she went into and had so many plans for her future. She was the all-around and all-American girl. However, only 16 days after graduating, Breonna was hit and killed by a man who was drinking and driving. This was his 7th DUI offense. Breonna's only sibling passed away from a related accident less than 2 weeks later. Because this technology was not in place, a set of parents lost both of their children. The video I'm going to end this with features what is probably a familiar poem to most of you, but it has a much more significant impact hearing it from a mom who lost her daughter to drunk driving. By passing this technology, we could save thousands of loved ones from ever having to feel the pain this family has endured.
Well, I'm sure there's several people here that knew both of my children, right from Breonna. But for those of you that didn't, Breonna graduated last June 6th from Elizabethtown High School. She had so many plans. She was enrolled at Western. She had her roommate. She had her residence hall. She had her dorm number. She was ready to go. She was going to rush. She could tell you exactly how many days before master plan. Is anybody here going to Western? So y'all know what master plan is. She was going to go. Master plan is a week before classes start, and she was going to spend that week down there and get familiar with the campus and rush and join a sorority. But anyways, some of you already know that 16 days after Breonna graduated, June 22nd, she was on her way to her friend's house. Her and Michaela had been out fishing that night, and on their way home, they took Patriot Parkway and were hit by a drunk driver less than 2 miles from Michaela's house, where Breonna was going to be spending the night. Just earlier that day, Breonna and I had been talking. We've been trying to sell her car. Kept telling her that I felt like she needed a safer car to drive back and forth on I-65 because she had a convertible. And the thought of her coming home, whether it be every weekend or every other weekend, just made me nervous. And Breonna said to me that day, "Mom, you don't have to worry about me. I'm a good driver." And less than 12 hours after that, she would take her final breath. I have a poem that I want to share with you all. Matter of fact, Breonna has shared this with me some 2 or 3 years ago. She read it in a book called Chicken Soup for the Teenage Self. Some of you all may have heard it before. I hope it impacts you just as it did her. I went to a party, Mom. I remembered what you said. You told me not to drink, Mom, so I drank soda instead. I started to drive away, Mom, as I pulled out onto the road. The other car didn't see me, Mom, and it hit me like a load. As I'm pinned behind the wheel, Mom, I hear the policeman say, "The other guy is drunk, Mom, and I'm the one who paid." I have one last question, Mom, before I say goodbye. I didn't never drink, Mom, so why am I to die? This is the end, Mom. I wish I could look you in the eye. To say these final words, Mom, I love you, and goodbye. If you all don't take anything else with you today as you leave this gymnasium, I ask that you please take this. Drinking and driving is not an accident.